Have you ever tried setting a goal and being in that mindset of I'm going to do this, you've got pure clarity, you've got the motivation, to then realize a few months later things aren't exactly going to plan. You end up disappointed and frustrated, and when the frustration reaches tipping point, you quit. In this video, we're going to be talking about the power of intention setting and why, in my opinion, it beats goal setting hands down. I'm not into New Year's resolutions, but with it being the start of 2021, we've got that opportunity to have that fresh start. We've all got that clean, slatey feeling after a very challenging 2020. You might just find this video really resonates with you. Welcome back to my channel. Consider subscribing if you are interested in topics around growing your confidence, personal development, mindset, and living a more intentional life. And hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every Sunday. I have had multiple online side businesses over the years where I have built big teams of people. I have been a team leader, I've been a mentor, I've been a friend, I've been a coach. One of the most soul-destroying things when I was building teams of people online was seeing how people felt like they'd failed because they hadn't actually reach the goal they set. I know goal setting works for some people, but shooting for ambitious outcomes in a fixed time frame just never worked for me. I'd set myself this big goal and spend the entire month like fear-mongering myself to reach it. Most traditional goal setting techniques equate the goal with the outcome, and that's the problem. More often than not, you can't control the outcome no matter how much work, hustle, time and effort you put in. So let's dive in. Intention setting over goal setting and why it feels so much better. You might be wondering what the difference is between goals and intentions. In short, goals are focused on the future. They're about a destination or a specific achievement. Intentions, on the other hand, are in the present moment. Intentions are lived each day, independent of reaching the goal or the destination. They are about the inner relationship with yourself. Intention setting is something that you might have heard in perhaps a guided meditation or a yoga class, and they say something like, let's set our intentions before we begin. It gives you that opportunity to check in with yourself right at the very start. Think how you're feeling right now and how you want to feel after. At the back end of last year, I was thinking to myself, why don't I resonate with setting myself goals for 2021? I used to be that girl that was like, I'm going to do this, and I'd set it all out on my calendar and get my like daily do's all set up, but that just wasn't feeling aligned with me. And I realized after digging quite deep that we are constantly evolving as people. Like, I'm not the person I was this time last year, and I fully believe that one door closes and another one opens. Putting that expectation on myself and having to be that focused on one thing. I used to be in the mindset of blinkers on, complete focus on one thing happening. This year and how I was feeling, just it felt all wrong to me. One thing I've noticed over the years as I've got older and thankfully wiser is that putting all my eggs in one basket is setting myself up for letdown rather than focusing on the journey and their continual improvement. The problem with the goals first mentality is that you're constantly putting your happiness on hold until you've reached that milestone. Once I reach my goal, then I can be happy. I have fallen into this trap so many times. In fact, month on month. Happiness was like something that my future self could enjoy once I reached my goal. Saying things like, when I lose these final sticky 5 kilos, I can then be happy. Once I earn a certain amount of money each month, then I'll have more freedom and I will be happier. Would you agree that building anything from a place of joy is so much better from building from a place of fear and pressure? Having an intention keeps all your focus on how you're feeling in that moment. It keeps you very present. It's not about winning or losing, hitting or missing. It's about tuning into that very moment, the present moment. Here are some action steps to help you create your intentions. Choose a segment of time you want to do something for. So not a deadline, you're just choosing a time frame that you want to do that thing for. So it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be a moon cycle, whatever feels good for you. I'll give you an example for myself. My goal would be to have 50k subscribers by the end of 2021. When now it feels better me saying to myself that I intend to grow my YouTube channel to such and such. 50k subscribed by the end of the year. Blimey, can you imagine if that actually happened? I would be so happy. So I am moving forward towards towards what I want to achieve from a good feeling place, intending to do such and such, you're almost sending out that good feeling to the universe and it will just work its magic. So set your intentions. I intend to do this by the end of the year. I intend to grow my business or build my customer base or whatever it might be. By focusing on my intention, not the end goal, I find that I'm much more consistent with my little daily actions towards what it is that I want to do. I'm sure everybody's wish is to feel good every day. And for me, when I think about my intentions, I'm enjoying the journey way more than any destination. Visualize how it's going to feel when you get to where you want to be. Have a chat almost with your future self. How would she look? How would she show up? How would she speak? What would her business look like? What would her life look like? Have a word with her and have a conversation with her and have a look at who that person is and see yourself growing into her. Create a list of words which align with your future self. So you're going to have a big list of words which feel good for you, and then you can narrow that down to 2 words. And then that's what you can focus on, that feeling every single day. Journal and reflect, and also find a system which feels good for you as well every day. So for me, I love systems. When you start enjoying the mundane stuff and just doing the daily do's, then you'll find that the results look after themselves. I used to think habits meant I had a really boring, structured life, but now I call them little daily rituals because they're things I do every single day to get me closer to where I want to be. If you guys haven't read James Clear's Atomic Habits, I highly recommend it. If you're thinking about what you want to achieve, what your 2021 is going to look like, and what you can do each day, this book teaches you how tiny changes can bring remarkable results. A little snippet from the book, he says, fall in love with the systems. Results have very little to do with the goals set and nearly everything to do with the systems you follow. By making small daily promises builds a habit. Doing something consistently means you naturally get better and achieve more over the long term. Feel into whatever it is that you want to do. So is it completely aligned with you? My favorite saying is, if it's not a hell's yes, it's a no. And then work out a way by setting small intentions every day to move closer to where you want to be. Then fall in love with the process rather than the final destination. You don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. I'd love to hear your intentions and daily practices down below in the comments. Let me know if this video resonated with you, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I encourage you guys to revisit the idea of intention setting versus goal setting. It can be as simple as right now writing down what you intend to implement to create a new habit. If you love this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Next week we will be covering how to get organized when you feel just completely overwhelmed. So hit the little red notification bell to be notified when that one goes live, and I will see you in the next one.